Hi there, everyone. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the iTunes show, the Dr. Gwen Podcast Show. Now, this is the second broadcast on this particular page, and I've been doing all of the over 80 broadcasts on my personal page. And so starting this week, what I will actually be doing is having my live cast here. So I want you to look forward to the notifications that are going to be coming out. And I would like for you to join me here as I do my live cast. Now, I am still looking to see if some of the folks will join me. And as you hop in, just feel free to say hi. Now, if you've been following me on these live casts, you know that I'm doing them for a couple of reasons. Number one, selfish reasons. I like being here with you. I really do. I enjoy talking with you. I enjoy empowering your life. I enjoy giving nuggets and ideas and thoughts that are going to inspire you to be your very best self. And if you've also been following my page, you know that my audience is women. Not that I don't like the guys, I feel like I can relate to the women and to the challenges that you have been through. Being a woman myself and having gone through a lot of challenges in my previous marriage and having overcome some of those challenges in my current marriage. So the empowering reflection piece is to help us as women to stay connected, to be powerful, to be purposeful, to achieve the goals that we want. And what a better time than now, 2017. We just got done with another year. And I've heard a lot of people say 2016 was the worst year of my life. Well, I know how that is. That was my 2013, was the worst and the best year of my life, because it was then that I really discovered who I was because of some of the things that I've been doing to really transform my life, expose myself to personal growth, to think on a different level, and to really stretch myself so that I can be powerful and show up powerfully for the people in this world. So what about you? Is that what your goal is? Now, today my topic has to do with how you may be dwarfing your success. And I think this is an excellent topic to start the year off with. Now, we're in the third week of the year, and it's still very early. In fact, I even think that if it were December 31st, 2017, it would still be an excellent time to step out and to create something new. Because every single day, 365 days and a quarter sometimes of the year are times for you to grow and reflect and to transform yourself. So here is what I am saying to you right now. How are you dwarfing your success? I like to start my discussion with a groundwork, some kind of framework where we're all operating from the same level. So what is success for you? Success for you may be something quite different than success for me, success for a pastor, success for a single mom, success for a woman who may be in a situation at home that is quite distressing. Success is different for different people. And yet what I find is that we set our time and we set our energies creating success based on someone else's value, based on what other people are doing. That is not a powerful way to live our lives. And so you get to define what success is. And even in the midst of that definition, you know what? In the midst of that definition, it is really key for you to know what the end result is going to look like. I find that to be something that may be very evasive for people. They know what they want, or they think they do, and yet they don't know when they have achieved it. They have no way of tracking what they're doing. They have no way of seeing what is happening, and so they fall off the cart. So today, my conversation with you is to get you, dear friends, to think about this. Think about what success is for you, first of all. Then I'm going to invite you to get clear about it. Now, clarity is a huge piece. And perhaps for you in your life this year, you want something that is completely different than what you've had last year. Maybe you want a new relationship. Maybe you want a new career. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to venture out to try some new activity for yourself so that you can begin to feel as though you are enjoying your life. Whatever that venture is, the most important thing is to be clear about what you want. Because if you're not clear about what the end result is going to look like, then what's going to happen, friends, is that you're not going to know when you've achieved it. So I did on one of my live casts, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you will be able to see the live casts that have been taken from my personal Facebook page, transferred over there, so you can actually start watching them. And then I have a plan to transcribe them or to transfer them onto my podcast show, so you can also listen up on iTunes when you have an inkling to do that. That is, you may be traveling and you may want to do that. So being clear about those goal setting and being strategic about how you set your goals is going to be really key for you. But what are you going to do to make sure that that happens? Well, you're going to have to set a time aside to not just create what you want, but write down the steps that are going to get you to where you want. But this conversation today is not about goal setting. That's not it. It's just really how, from time to time and day to day, how people tend to dwarf their success. So let's get back to that success. So you know what you want, right? And you feel like you know what you want. You think you know what the end result is going to look like. And I want to actually give you an example from my own personal life about how this has played out for me. And as a matter of fact, when you know you are successful at something, number one, if you have set those goals the right way, you can actually see the numbers. You can actually see the results. And then there is another side to it. And that is accompanying feeling of great satisfaction for what you have achieved. Now that feeling of satisfaction is something that we tend to brush aside quite often, and yet it is so important. So there was a time as I had started off in my business that I was very unclear about who I wanted to serve. And I vacillated back and forth because I felt like I could serve everyone. So it went from women to single women to women who were abused. And in general, it's women, and all of those topics fall underneath, but I wasn't always clear about it. And here's what happened. Because I was not clear about what I wanted as I set my goals, I frequently hit a brick wall. I couldn't set the goal. And because I didn't know who I was targeting. And also when I wanted to reach out to the people that I wanted to serve, I didn't know who to reach out to. I wasn't clear on that. And I do a lot of meditation, right? I tend to do my meditation to reflect on not just my own personal transformation, but also on where I want to go next with ideas, with thoughts. Some of the topics I get during my meditation are topics that I talk about here on my Lifecast. In fact, quite a number of them, maybe most. So my meditation serves me quite well in accomplishing and achieving a final goal. But here is what happened, okay? Because I lacked that clarity on what exactly it was that I needed to focus on when I went to meditate and I tried to visualize some of those things that would bring the success, I was stuck. I could not experience the feelings and the emotions and everything that went along with it. I simply could not. Why? Because I was not clear. But here's something that I did. As I started to write out what it was that I wanted, who it was that I wanted to serve, each time I got an inspirational nugget and I wrote it down and it felt okay for that moment, then a few days later, there would be that unsettled feeling inside me again that, this was not it. And I paid attention. And I also remained open. Now I'm telling you my story so you can relate this to your own personal experience, because this tends to be the way it works in general. So I jotted it down. Next time I meditated, something new may come to me, something a little closer. And I would write that down and I would stay open. It's really important for me to stay open. And as I stayed open, more things came to me. And then a few days later, the lack of clarity came back. And if you're not careful about this, here's what's going to happen. You're going to give up, because right at that point, when you're getting all of those tiny little tidbits and nuggets, they are bringing you closer to a step. And you should implement as you get those thoughts. Implement them. Because if you don't do that, there will be a surprise at the end that will cause everything to probably fall apart. So as I'm getting these little inspiration, I am cataloging and I am putting into action those things, and I'm changing stuff, and I'm doing all of those things as I go. And then comes an inspiration, an external source. All external sources are not necessarily bad, but when you get an external inspiration, you must always check it with your own internal guide, what I call my divine guide, your gut. Check it in there first before you take it on and run. The mistake you will make is that when your clarity is not crystal clear and you run full force with that, what you are actually going to do is to set yourself up for failure. Either your success will come in real slow motion, or you will amputate your success. Just cut it off and set yourself up for failure. So you don't want to move forward until you are really, really clear about this. And I'll tell you in a moment, how to get clear. So as you are taking those tiny steps, then may come again that little gut sense that says, oh, this is not quite it. Pay attention. Don't ignore those insights. Don't sweep them under the rug. Do not overlook them. So I am happy that I didn't do that. So here comes the next insight. And then this external source came to me. And there were a bunch of questions that came up that forced me to start to think about this success that I wanted. And by going through those questions, just because I stayed open and I didn't throw my hands up in the air in frustration, by those questions, guess what? Voila! I hit the spot. And finally, everything became crystal clear. Now, you may not be at that point yet, but here's the other thing that happened. Here's what happened. When I put the whole thing together, I discovered that all of those little nuggets that were happening in the past, all of those things that finally would get me in a slightly frustrating mode, all of them just combined into one big successful bang. And it was amazing because all those small insights and nuggets, because I didn't throw them away, I wrote them down, I implemented what I could. Then when the full revelation came about, what I saw was a handiwork that I could not have possibly created on my own in one fell swoop. Now, why am I telling you this? Your success may come incrementally. It may come bit by bit, and if you are impatient, you will never realize it. If you throw your hands up and you get frustrated and you walk away and you say, oh my gosh, this is not it, I'm just going to give up, then what's going to happen is you are thwarting your success. When it comes, even though it may not be that full solution to whatever you were looking for, stop, pause, take note, implement what you can. Implement it. Even if you've got to go back and change it later. It's better implementing than just sitting and waiting for something else to show up. Okay, there's my nephew on the line. Hi there, baby. So, all your major successes, all of them, will come tiny bits. It's not one fell swoop. So don't make the mistake, my friends, during this 2017 to throw away all those little bits of insights that you get. Now, here's another thing that happens. Now, when the clarity sets in, what you can do now is you can charge. You can charge full steam ahead because now you're clear. And guess what? Everything is now going to align to support you. When you're not clear, you hit a brick wall all the time. And it's like, where are the people to support me? Where are the resources? They're not showing up. I don't see them coming my way. When you are clear, it's like the waters part for you and everyone and everything you need show up. And here's the thing, even though it may take you 2 years, 3 years, 1 month, whatever the time frame is, and you feel like you are stalling, when that clarity comes, that success goes like this, whoop, straight up. And you find that you really have not lost the time you thought you did. And all of those, every last one of those incremental insights that you were getting are training ground for you. They are training you for something better. They're training you for something greater. They're training you for your process and your destiny that you are here to fulfill. So it's really key that you understand this, that this year, as you set your goals and you set your bars for success, first of all, get clear, meditate, Now, I said I'll tell you how I get clear. I meditate. That's a part of my daily routine. And I didn't know what I was doing when I started meditating. I'm not a part of a cultural group or any group for meditating. All I know, I love that. I love that line. All I know is that when I wake up in the mornings, I lay on my bed, I breathe deeply, I flow that energy through my body. I imagine that I have a tail coming from my lowest chakra going down to the center of the earth to ground me. And I breathe in and I breathe out and I relax my body. And during those moments, it is amazing. Let me tell you, it's amazing the inspiration that I get. So crystal clear for some things and incremental for others. And every bit of that inspiration have been steps for me to get to where I need to get to. So friends, don't get frustrated. If your success is not happening right away, stay silent. Be in that mode where you are open to receive. When you get an inspiration, don't sit down and just hope that things turn out for the better. Get into action around it. It's really important that you get into action around it. And then what you may discover in the end, when you finally hit that last hurdle or that last inspiration, what you may discover is one big program, one big system coming out of every tiny step that if you had previously ignored them, you would never have reached to the point where you are. So my friends, I promise that I'll be here between 15 to 30 minutes, and I'm at 22 minutes. I hope I've left you some value for today. And what I want you to do is to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. I am going to place a link to my blog. In fact, I think the blog link is there, and you can reach out there if you need resources on anything to empower your life. I'm here. It's all about clarity. You cannot break through unless you are clear. So my friends, if clarity is what you need, then definitely reach out to me. You can go to my page, thedrgwen.com, thedrgwen.com. Fill out the free discovery form, and there is a survey that you would be required to complete so that we can connect and I can show you exactly what you need to be much more clear in your life and to achieve that success that you so greatly deserve. Thank you so very much for joining me. This is Dr. Gwen, empowering lives to live purposefully and passionately. Love you guys.